Welcome to the world of blogging. Even if you've never blogged before, this tutorial will set you on your way. So the first thing you need to do is to get invited into our class email. You do that either by giving Ms. Verve your email address or sending her an email and she'll invite you. Then you'll click on the link inside that email and it'll take you to this page. The first thing you have to do to use Blogger is to create a Google account. You can see the red arrow right there pointing to the link you need to click to get to that page. To create a Google account, you'll need to have an email address. If you already have an email address, you can just use that one. If you don't have an email address, then you need to go to gmail.com and start a Gmail account. That email address you can use for all of your classes for the rest of your 4 years of leadership. The next thing on this form is the password. Now this does not need to be the same password as your email account, although it can be. However, make sure whatever password you choose, you remember it, because every time you log on to Blogger, you'll need to enter that password. Next thing is the display name. This is the name that will give you credit for your posts. So it needs to be your first name and your last initial. Do not put your first name and your last name because this is a public space. Then next up is the word verification, where you type the word and the checkbox to accept the terms of service. Now that you have a Gmail account, you're ready to make a Blogger account. Almost done with this first part. So you've got your username already entered in there after you press the orange continue arrow on the previous screen, and then we'll enter your password that you just made up. After you've accepted my invitation to join this blog, Blogger will take you to your dashboard. Dashboard is like a home page for Blogger, so you'll be able to manage all of your many blogs on this one page. You can see here it says Manage Your Blogs and Your Turn. That's the name of our class blog. That big red arrow is pointing to what you will do next, which is view our blog. From here on out, there's only 3 things you'll be doing with Blogger: signing in, and then either creating a new post, which is that arrow up in the top right corner of the screen, or leaving a comment, which is that arrow in the middle of the screen. We're first going to look at how to leave a new post. As you can see, creating a blog looks a lot like writing an email or working in a word processing document. There's a space up top for the title, and in the main body of the post, you can do bold, italics, change the font, center it, do a numbered list, or even spell check. So it works a lot like a word processing document. For this assignment, your title will be the math outcome that you are addressing. So in this example, I used adding positives and negatives. In the body of your message goes the problem that you have created. After you've created that problem, you then have 3 options. On the bottom, you can see you can publish the post, save it now just to keep it as a draft, or in the top right, preview it. Before we go to our published view, we're going to see what it looks like to preview. The preview feature allows you to see what your post would look like in the actual blog. It's your last chance to look for typos, misspellings, or other errors. If you find anything that you want to go back and edit, just click Hide Preview. In order to receive credit for your work for this assignment, you will need to actually publish your post. Once you publish your post, you'll see this window saying that your post has been published successfully. Then you'll go ahead and view the blog to see it in the actual blog. Great! There's our problem in the blog looking just like we hoped it would. Now, for every problem that you post, you are going to leave 2 comments. The first comment is you're going to go and find somebody else's problem that hasn't been answered yet and leave a comment answering their problem. The second comment you are responsible for is in response to that solution comment on your own problem. So you're going to tell that person whether they answered it correctly, or if they didn't answer it correctly, explain to them how to do the problem. To leave a comment, just click on that link saying 0 comments. The comments page gives you 3 things to do. The first is to click on Show Original Post so that you can see the original problem while you're leaving your comment. The second is to actually leave your comment. Remember, if you're writing your solution or if you're correcting somebody else's solution, you need to show all your work in this area. And finally, you can publish your comment. You can also do that preview feature we saw earlier. Once you have posted your comment, it will show up in that left-hand column. Remember, you are responsible for making 2 comments for every problem you post. So once you see that your problem has 1 comment already, that means someone has answered it. It's your job to go back and make the second comment telling that person whether they answered it correctly, or if they did not, telling them what is the correct solution. When everyone is finished, all the blogs will look like this, with the problem, the solution, and the correction to the solution. Now I have one last thing to tell you. There are two ways that you can go back later and edit what you did. You'll notice there are two red arrows here. One is pointing to a pencil. That is for you to go back and make changes. One is pointing to a trash can. That's for you to go and delete your work, so be careful with that. You'll notice that we currently cannot edit that middle post. That's because we did not write it. Alright folks, thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to come find me at lunch or after school. You are now ready to create your own blog. Now it's your turn.